Hello there. Good morning or afternoon or wherever you are. Okay, I'm going to give you some prophetic insight. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about find your anchor. There's a real important message in that. We need to know who we're hanging on to. Who's got us, who's anchored us in truth, so that we're not swept off or taken off by all kinds of things that we're not even supposed to be looking at or paying attention to, right? So it was weird. The last video that I did, it said that it got 40 or 34,000 views. I don't know if those are bots or if they're people, but regardless, that's kind of a lot. I've never really had that many, but you know what? The truth is coming out, and we're going to have to be really attentive to keeping our heart and our mind in peace. And we're going to have to understand that God is showing us things to come. He already told us what he's going to do in Matthew 24. He gave us the understanding about what we're going to be facing. But I'm going to give you some scriptures to hold on to that'll give you an anchor, okay? It's going to give you something that you need to hold on to so that we're not going to be freaking out. I'm watching all the time on video, on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. They come out with all these weird, I actually make fun of them because it's like, okay, let's just see how demonic and strange and awful it can be. And I'm thinking, well, God's bigger than all. He's laughing. I mean, he already said, it is finished. Jesus said, it is finished. That means all of it. He overcame death, hell, and the grave. He overcame Satan, stripped him of his authority. He's got no power. And so we just have to say, this is ridiculous. I mean, some of the stuff they're coming out with and the spewing of words and all these things. This was the same kind of thing that happened Saul on the road to Damascus. You know, he said he was a chief sinner. He used to say all these horrible things and do things and wanted to kill Christians and all. And then he had an encounter with Jesus, and it completely changed his life and changed him around. We are getting ready to see God show up in power like we've never seen. This is going to be something that we've never experienced ever. And it's going to, I even put this down on my Facebook today, that in Daniel 5, it talked about when the hand was written on the wall, right? And Nebuchadnezzar saw it, and it says his knees smote one with another. That means they were knocking. His knees were knocking because there was a power greater than anything he'd ever seen or experienced before. Jesus and God is the greatest power. He is the Most High. He's where our anchor needs to be. And we also need to be operating in faith. That's things that are unseen, things that we don't see. And so we believe and understand that God is going to do things that hasn't entered into our sight. He hasn't shown us. It hasn't been revealed, yet we believe and we know that God is going to do some things. He's almighty. He heals cancers. He heals diseases. He raises the dead. He casts out demons. And he tells us to do the same thing. So we are operating under a completely different kingdom. That's our anchor. That's our anchor. In Isaiah 41:10, it says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Don't be afraid. I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Okay? Romans 6:20, the God of peace. Listen to this one. The God of peace will soon crush Satan underneath your feet. The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with you. I mean, the God of peace. We talk about peace a lot. Isaiah 26:3. He will keep you in perfect peace when your mind is stayed on him. What does that mean? That means that we don't wander. Our minds don't wander off and go, oh my gosh, oh, this is so horrible. Oh my word, like everything's happening and all this kind of stuff. God is able to keep you. He is a refuge. He's a strong tower, and the righteous run into it and you're safe. And that is Proverbs 18:10. The righteous run into the strong tower of the Lord and they're safe. John 16:33. I've told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In the world you'll have tribulation, but be of good cheer or take courage. I have overcome the world. Okay? Look at, I'm not trying to butter this up. I'm trying to let you know that if we don't have our anchor and settled in God, in his ability and his willingness and his action on behalf of his kids to show up and do great and mighty things, signs in the heavens, wonders on the earth, things that we can't do, things that aren't humanly possible for us to do, God's going to show up and do them. And when that happens, we need to realize that he's with us and he's for us. And when it's your time to go home to heaven, you'll go. When if he needs you here, you're going to stay here. He'll cause things to not affect your mortality. He's going to keep you. He's going to keep you. And then he tells us, this is the battleground. Okay, so the mind is the battleground, and you have to keep your mind in perfect peace. When it's stayed on God, he says he'll keep you in perfect peace. That means peace that goes beyond your understanding. You don't have the ability to work it up in yourself. God said, if you just trust me, if you just keep your mind on me, I'm going to keep you in perfect peace. And bonus, I'm going to show you things to come ahead of time. I'm going to give you the understanding of things so that you have all things available to you. Okay? So he's going to show you things to come. He's going to give you the understanding of what's coming ahead. Okay, so I want to tell you this too, that Philippians 2:9 and through 11, it talks about that every single knee is going to bow, every tongue is going to confess that Jesus is Lord when he's coming back. I'm telling you, I don't care how ugly it looks. I don't care how bad it looks. I don't care how many people say horrible things and they want to do evil and all these kind of, every knee is going to bow. Every tongue is going to confess. That's just what it is. I mean, it is what it is, right? And so in order for us to move forward and propel forward with faith and with courage and with assurance, we've got to understand that God has got us on assignment. He knows what he's doing. We have to keep our anchor settled in him. We have to. We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice to put our faith in any other thing. Everything else is going to fail. Everything on earth is going to fail, but God is not going to fail. And so we have got to listen to what he tells us to do, and we have to be bold and faithful to go in and do it. And you don't always have the answers before you go. I know that one for sure. And the places where I go and the outreaches that we do and the places, I don't have the answers before we go. I just go in and God gives them to me in the moment. Tells me exactly what we need to do when I get there. And so I want to encourage us. I want to encourage you to keep your anchor settled. If you don't, that's where men's hearts fail them for fear. Okay, so you've got to realize that he's going to do immediate. He's going to do things. He's going to keep you. He's going to let you know what's going on. And so anyway, I just had to tell you that because I'm just watching some of the comments. Oh, by the way, don't take my words and twist them around. I never said Jesus changed. I saw that in some of the comments on the last video. I never said Jesus changed. Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. What I said is the world's changed and the church has not. Okay, and we're not even meeting the need because we don't understand the culture and we don't even know what we're getting into. And so God is trying to retrain us and teach us about what the world looks like right now because he knew it. He knew exactly what was going to happen, and he knew how he wanted to train us and shape us and form us for the days that we currently live in. Listen, if we were not meant to be here on this earth, we wouldn't be here right now. But he has us here for this time. Like it's like Esther, you're here for such a time as this. That's why you're here. And so he's going to give us his understanding of what's going on out there. You know, I have had so many opportunities to freak out on different outreaches that I've been in. And there's times when I did freak out. Like, oh my gosh, I'd never seen anything like that. I'd never experienced anything like that. And yet God was like, hey, I've already seen it. I know what's going on. So we have to be able to have our anchor settled. Okay, this is real important. Have your anchor. Just make it a priority. Go, this is what is going to happen. This is how you're going to get through the days ahead. Keep your anchor settled. When everything falls off around you, when everything goes crazy, when there are uncertain times, certainty and uncertain times, when your certainty is in Him and in faith and believing and knowing God's word and knowing what He promised. I'm going to keep you. Fear not. I am with you. Don't be afraid. I am your God. I will strengthen you. I take that, man. I take that. I will strengthen you. I will help you. And I will uphold you with my hand, with my righteous right hand. I will uphold you. I will keep you. I will secure you. I will undergird you. I will take you and give you the platform to stand on, and so that you're not shaken, you're not pushed off, and you can accomplish what I've given you to do. And you're going to see me and my strength, God says, me and my strength coming through you. And these are strong things that I cannot possibly work up on my own, in my own human ability. So this is going to be great. It's going to be so, so good for us to move forward. Yes, it's going to be weird. Yes, it's going to be uncertain. Yes, there are going to be things that will and grab our attention or try and take us captive. But God said, I'm with you. I'm going to do this. So, all right, here we go. Things coming up. I've got training coming. I've got a pastor's conference coming in August. I've got a video with some podcast coming up here pretty soon. I've got a Learn and Launch in Houston with Open Door in Houston. I have Hawaii coming up. We're going to go to Hawaii and we're going to do 8 days of training over there, I think. And then I've got Salt Lake City coming up for one night in Salt Lake City. And then I've got Portland, Maine. We're going to be doing some learning and launching there for training. And so we're going to be moving forward in things that are like, equipping us. Every Halloween, I do a thing called Awaken the Dead. It's just an outreach we call Awaken the Dead. And so we're going to be doing the outreach, Awaken the Dead. I'm going to put some other outreaches together that are doable for the people who've gone through Learn and Launch and that have read Words That Work. Because I can't take you on big outreaches if you haven't been on small ones. And I want to get your feet stable on what you're doing so that you don't have knee-jerk reactions when you get out there and see all the weirdness, right? So where you can be steadfast, immovable, and always abounding in God's work, right? That's just what it is. So also, you know what? You learn as you go. So don't feel inferior. Don't feel weird. I had knock knees. I was kind of intimidated by all the things until I got out there and I saw God's faithfulness in the middle of it. So anyway, and he knew what he was doing, and he knew who I needed to talk to, and he knew what kinds of words I needed to use in order to say certain things to certain people in order to break down their walls and to get them the truth, because the enemy's got them so blocked up, man, and their minds are so clouded with all kinds of darkness and shadows and deception and name it, So anyway, don't feel like you're that you can't do it. You can. If I can do it, you can do it, guaranteed. So this is the time for it. I'm excited for what's happening. I believe that we're going to see amazing things we've never seen before. So, all right. Be sure and go to my website, cindymcgill.org. Make sure and get Words That Work if you haven't got it. It's also on audio, just so you know, if you need it to play, when you're download it, and you can play it in your car or whatever. And we have some other things coming up that are going to be pretty powerful and pretty good. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to see how God's going to expand this army. It is an army. It's an army of people that go, I don't care. I'm going out there. I'm going to see God do all kinds of things. I'm going to watch him. I'm going to stay with him, and I'm going to move forward in power and in authority and with my anchor settled and with no fear and in perfect peace and I'm just going to do the stuff. I'm going to do the stuff, do whatever I need to do. So, all right. God bless you guys. I just wanted to say that to you, and remember, listen to what I say. Don't put words in my mouth, and don't try and twist stuff up, because I'm not saying that. I'm telling you that we're in a time right now where we can't fiddle around and just sit back and worry and wring our hands and going crazy. So you just have to get with the program, do what God does, do what he wants you to do, and just love it, because it's fun. I mean, he genuinely gives you a joy that goes way beyond. I mean, that is did you know that the joy of the Lord is actually our strength? And that's what you get when you go. So, all right, guys, peace out. I love you. I will talk with you soon. Go on my website, get all the stuff, get the dream courses. I'm going to start raising up dream teams. And we're just still looking for a place to host it. We're going to do them all over, really. Actually, if you want to do a class or a dream or something, just get a hold of me. There's an email there. You can request it. We'll come. We'll teach you. We'll get you launched. We'll do impartation. I like in person because I can do impartation and answer questions. We're real relational. So anyway, all right. I love you guys. I will talk with you soon, and God bless you. Bye.